Hello everyone and welcome back to more Players Cup action. Today we're here with round 4 of my Players Cup run versus Sal. And we're ready to go. So we're currently in winners round 4. Oh, I should have probably skipped this rules part, but it gives me a moment to explain kind of where we're at. So we're currently in winners round 4. So if we can win this game and the next game, we advance to top 16 in North America, allowing us to play the following week, which would be amazing. That was kind of my goal coming into this tournament. But regardless of that, still two opponents stand in our way. At least two opponents, I should say, because of the way double elimination works. So at least two still stand in our way. So definitely going to have a good game versus Sal here. And let me flash their team up on the screen. You can kind of see it now in the team preview, but what I can see is I see this. And, you know, Sun going into this matchup, when I built the team, I knew Sun was going to be my hardest matchup. It's just nature of running Zacian. When you build a team, obviously there's ways around it. You can tech things, right? There's obviously ways around it. You have game plans, but in general, it's a hard matchup. So I wasn't too happy seeing Sun. And normally when I see Charizard, if they're bringing Charizard, I can adapt and I can say, hey, let's adapt. Let's try to bring a Lucky here, maybe punch a hole in their team and then come in late game with my max and stuff. But because they're Assault Vest Charizard, I had no clue what the damage calcs were on that. So I opted to rather not bring a Lucky and just kind of go with the moment where, you know, I can kind of just try and blow them up. So I obviously have to respect the Sleep Powder, but I figured I could always swap in my Safety Goggles Instant on the slot where I expected the Sleep Powder. So other than that, the Groudon's pretty standard. Citrus Berry is a little bit interesting instead of Wide Lens, but it's respectable. Like I definitely can see it. The Policy Venusaur is a little annoying, but once again, it's just one of those things I have to respect. Nothing that I don't think I can play around. It's just the problem is I think there's just so much that I have to play around. If that makes any sense. Like anything on their own, or even like two of them on their own, isn't too bad. Like Grimmsnarl's not too bad. Charizard's not too bad. Grimmsnarl plus AV Charizard, Regieleki's gonna do nothing, so I can't play my normal. My normal Charizard answer with the Regieleki. So I've got to come up with interesting ways now to get through this. So I also have to respect Scary Face, because what I wanted to do on this turn was literally just blow up the Charizard. Click Phantasm, click Behemoth Blade, Charizard's dead. Congratulations, thanks for coming out. Right? However, they have Scary Face. I have to respect that. I literally have to respect that. So I'm almost forced into protecting here or switching out. I would have loved to make the call saying that they were not Scary Face, and I could have just dropped their max turn 1. I think I would have won the game. I legitimately think I would have won the game. And it's a little unfortunate, because like I was thinking to myself, you know what, they have it. It's open team sheet. They know that I know that they have it, so why would they click it? They know I have to respect it. But you guys can probably tell by the way I'm talking, I protect. I was scared of Scary Face, okay? I was a little scared. The face is scary, okay? It just looks at you and you're just like, ah. Okay, no, sorry, that was a bad joke. But it is called Scary Face for a reason. I was a little concerned. I'm not gonna lie. So, Charizard grows large, Dragapult grows large, and of course, I protect Zacian, which, in hindsight, terrible play. In hindsight, terrible play. Because Grimm's going to get the Reflect up here, which is not what I was expecting them to burn a Scary Face. And if I get the burn Scary Face, we're actually not in a bad spot. Because if they burn Scary Face, I get this Airstream up. Even if they Airstream with Charizard, they'd have to Scary Face me again next turn. So basically I wanted them to commit 2 turns burning Scary Face into my Zacian. Very smart play on their end, realizing that I was probably scared of it. They do correctly Wildfire Zacian, but what's questionable about that is I don't think they realize they die. Do they die? I feel like they died. I mean, maybe they have a bulkier set, but the defense drop basically counters the... you know what? No, maybe they don't die. If they don't die, that's perfect. I mean, I don't know. That's still, you're taking 62 million to kill a Zacian. I mean, yeah, you get my Zacian, but like, I don't know. I feel like if I could have killed Zard on that turn 1, or at least brought it down into the red, I still think I'm in the better spot, because it's not like you can Scary Face my Dragapult. So Dragapult would have been the faster mon still the next turn to kill it. I would have brought in probably Instant. Maybe not. Maybe I bring in Maybe I bring in the Lapras. I don't know. It depends. It would depend on how much I actually did to the Zard. But like, I'd probably bring in instant, fake out the Grimmsnarl. I don't know. I just feel like I could have capitalized on that turn where they were fairly passive. Yes, I would have lost Zacian had I not killed the Charizard, but I think it might have been for the better. Either way, we're gonna pivot in instant here because I don't want to take another Wildfire to the face. And Grimmsnarl is actually going to switch out, so they were quite content getting that Reflect up, getting on out of here, and they're going to bring in their Intimidate. Thankfully, doesn't matter too much. Dragapult can't be lowered, and Incineroar, not an attacker to begin with. So we're going to get a big damage off here into this Charizard, I believe. I went Phantasm. That's going to try and lower its defenses, so good damage. It cannot protect, so I'm going to bully it. Right, and when I play Pokemon, for me it's about finding safe spots to attack with your big damaging moves. Like, yeah, I could have tried to Airstream the Grim, get some speed back. I didn't really need that, right? I mean, the Charizard was not going to protect. The Phantasm Resist was already on the field beside it, so it was a free Phantasm into that Charizard slot, and it helps me out in the long run anyways. So it was an easy choice for me to target that one. There was no real thought process behind it there, other than the fact that hey, they can't quick protect. So I play the instant Fake Out tie. Don't know who's faster with the instance. We'll never know. Yeah, did they Airstream there actually? Or did they Wildfire again? I think they Wildfire again. I wasn't really paying attention. This is what happens when I get on stories. But anyways, they're actually going to switch out Charizard, which is a very, very smart play on their end here. Question is, what's coming in and what am I catching with big damage here? It's going to correctly be that Grimmsnarl as the Phantasm switch in. And like I said, that was their Phantasm switch-in. I mean, yes, the instant could have swapped in for the Zard last turn when I said they had no other Phantasm switch-in. Looking back on their field, they did, but they weren't switching their full health Charizard out. They weren't switching their Charizard out. There they do, though. That's a respectable play. And we're going to see a parting shot from the opposing Incineroar here. And we see that their Incineroar is actually, I believe that makes their instant faster. I believe, don't quote me on that. But this is what happens when I don't pay attention. And this, guys, I'm not gonna lie, this is one of those games that was really rough. You guys have probably seen this matchup and how it started to play out. And both of us, only good thing here, both of us burned our maxes. Parting shots coming out. We both burned our maxes. I still have a good chunk of health left, but the problem is they gain more here. Once again, I didn't kill the threat. This Grimmsnarl is the threat. Right? Because it's the one thing that's preventing me from pivoting out everything. Right? From saving everything. It's the one thing preventing me from killing everything and just getting my double ups. Because of the fact that they have Scary Face. Because at any moment they can Scary Face me, P-Blades me to death. They can Scary Face me, Wildfire me to death. Right? It's a really good, it really just shut me down for the most part here. And the problem, and the second problem I should say, is Dragapult can't stop this Grim. So as long as they have this Grimmsnarl beside something like a Groudon or beside something like their Charizard, Zacian's useless. And my support for Zacian is useless, and I can't kill the Grim. So they can, this is a fairly, I don't want to say easy game to position for themselves because I still do force their hand a fair amount. But there's the Scary Face this time, so basically what happened here is I said, you know what, I respected it too much the first time, and they're not going to possibly do it now. And then they did it now. So that's just a read I got wrong. And maybe I should have respected it a little bit more. But Precipice Blades, Dragapult going to dodge because I'm in the void. Precipice Blades is going to connect into the Zacian. And my man don't miss Precipice Blades apparently. When Groudon's hitting Blades, Groudon is good. When Groudon is missing Blades, Groudon is bad. That's all there is to it. Because if I would have dodged that there and gotten my Behemoth Blade up, right, that really just not only keeps Zacian on the field, but also probably picks off him on the following turn. So, you know, it's one of the things where, like I said 2 seconds ago, Groudon hits Blades, Groudon's good. Groudon misses Blades, Groudon's bad. And I just think it's too, I don't know, I personally don't like using it in tournaments just because I'm going to lose because I'm going to miss Blades at some point. My opponent obviously saying, you know what, I'm going to play some Zacians. I don't need Groudon that much to hit Blades. So either way, cool team. Definitely a really cool team. So, regardless of this, I'm forced into P2 right now. I can try and get Trick Room up. And I don't think it's the best play for me. However, I think it is my only option to potentially try and win this, right? So if I get Trick Room up, you know, I'm probably losing Dragon Pult here, and then I have Instant and Porygon. I don't think that's enough to pivot out of this. But maybe, just maybe, there's a chance. And I'm going to mute my phone. I apologize for that. One day I'm going to actually do that before I start the recording, guys. Of course, P2 does not take any damage from that. But unfortunately, Spirit Break's going to start coming out. They're going to start getting light screens up eventually. And I think this is all but said and done, guys. This actually might be one I skip here. We'll just... As soon as I remember the exact way this game ends, I probably will. Because it's a fairly... I think it's longer and more drawn out than it really needed to be here. So basically, at this point, my game plan here is I need to find a way to kill this. I need to kill this Groudon. And honestly, I think I may have forfeited at one point as well, because like, there was no way I'm pivoting through all 4 mons that they have left. They have a full health Instant. The only way I get to what I want to get to is if I kill Groudon, kill Groudon, kill Grim, kill the Zard, and have P2 versus Instant endgame, which is very winnable. Not greatly winnable, but it is winnable. They're going to correctly switch in their Incineroar for that Intimidate. I don't think at this point, guys, I'm ever getting through this. This might be the only one I actually ever skip. Because I think, as you can tell at this point, Precipice Blade is going to come out and they actually do double connect again here. And down goes Instant. And I mean, now they get Fake Out. They could just probably go Fake Out Swords Dance. I don't even think that's what they did. But they could very easily go Fake Out Swords Dance and we'd be in. And it's just over. Like, there's not enough dodges in the world. I Ice Beamed the Grim because Grim needed to go. Only reason I didn't hit the Groudon. And actually, I don't even have to skip. I forfeited. So, don't even need to skip anything. I was just about to skip. But, guess I don't need to because, you know, my brain is clearly on the same wavelength here as I was during the battle. So, now it's a question of, what am I going to do? So, I'm going to flash their team on the field again. And, okay. On the screen again, I should say, not the field. Because, you know, the field has already been recorded. But anyways, besides the point. And... seeing they didn't bring Venusaur, Venusaur was the main reason I said to myself, hey, let's not bring Lapras because I'm scared of that Venusaur lead. If they lead Venusaur and they go max Venusaur, Lapras ain't that hot. Lapras is not that good of a mon here. I didn't see the Venusaur. I figured they'd have no reason. It was a very dominant win on their end. I figured they have no reason to mix anything up. So I'm gonna take that gamble. I'm gonna jump in here. I'm gonna go with Lapras. So I decided to go with Lapras. I don't remember how I actually went about approaching this. Like, I really don't remember this one. I remember a lot more about Game 3 than I do about this Game 2. So, as I spoiled Game 2 there for you. But, we do decide to go Lapras here. Shouldn't have said that, but hey, it happened. I don't know. Anyways, Lapras is coming in. As you can tell here, guys, I'm literally probably looking at the team list during this team preview because I'm not looking. Normally in team preview when it's closed team sheets, I'll hover, I'll go back up and down, like, and I'll move my cursor here. But as you can tell, for like the first 30-40 seconds there, I was just staring at that team list and saying, okay, how can I possibly win this? I think I did go Lapras Instant with Zacian and P2 in the back, I think is what I ended up going with. Yeah. Okay. So that is what I ended up going with, gambling immensely on the fact that, hey, they are not going to bring Venusaur here. And you know what? I'd say for the most part it's going to work out. So it's a little bit of a spoil, but the game plays out pretty well. The game plays out pretty fine. I'd almost say exactly as what you'd expect. I did get a little bit lucky at some points, but anyways, Grimmsnarl Charizard coming back out, and seeing the Grim Charizard lead to me indicates that they have the exact same 2 Pokemon in the back. So at this point, I can ignore Zard. It doesn't hit hard. There's no stun on the field. It's an AV. It's not like it's a Life Orb. So Lapras is actually pretty safe to just max here. And here's my question. I wanted to Resonance a lot, but I figured, you know what? They could expect the fact that I want a Resonance here, right? They could just say, hey, this guy's gonna click Resonance. So then I wanted to click Geyser because they could switch in instant. And I also figured, hey, maybe if I click Geyser, as you can see me going back right now, if I click Geyser, I actually catch the Instant and the Groudon on the switch, and obviously it doesn't do a lot to... Obviously Resonance would have hit the Groudon as well, but if they do switch in that Groudon, we get big damage and we switch out the Sun, which is what the Charizard wants, right? The Zard wants the Sun, and that's what's allowing it to do big damage. So if I get my Rain up at the end of the turn, whether they switch in Sun or not, it's almost effectively like I put up the Resonance because I'm weakening their damage anyways. So Resonance here obviously would have been the better play, as you can see, because they didn't bother switching. But it's alright. You get calls wrong sometimes, and it happens. But like, I don't know, the way they were playing before, they were just so careful in game 1. I figured, hey, they're gonna probably try to be careful here too. But I guess they can just freely put up a light screen. But I also figured, you know, they'd switch because I can fake it out. So, which is another reason why earlier on in the turn I hovered over Parting Shot onto the Charizard, because I was really gonna commit to that switch. And then I figured, although they could just get Quakes up. Like, I didn't think they were gonna. I thought they were gonna switch into like instant eat the Resonance and get a Quake up. I was not breaking that. Like, that was just unbreakable at that point, had they done that. But thankfully they do, unfortunately they do get that special defense trip up, so, English, Ryan. Special defense stat up, so it's almost as if I'm attacking through the light screen here anyways. But we get big damage with that geyser, and like I said, there's the crit. And that crit right there is massive. That crit is massive. So, I go for the Resonance to try to pick off the Grim, and I think I switch out Instant into my P2 because we're into rain now. A Wildfire won't be doing too much damage, and P2 is going to be able to take and eat anything, and I need to keep my Instant alive. So I cannot afford to lose a piece. I've seen the way this game plays out. I cannot lose pieces. And the good news for me is here, I do have a Perish endgame as a potential, right? So I really like my Lapras adjustment here. Just because it gave me an option, and seeing an attack boost, of course, a little annoying, but they got the special defense boost, so it's not too surprising, as Groudon does switch in. And Resonance is going to hit into Groudon. It's going to hurt. That's what it is. Of course, this Charizard making great plays right now. After he goes for an Airstream, I was expecting another Quake, just so whatever they switched in would, you know, eat attacks a lot better. But of course, if they expected me to go for another Geyser, switching in Groudon and putting the Sun up is probably a lot better than just a Quake. So, either way, they go for the Airstream, trying to pick up the knockout on Charizard there. Maybe expecting me to switch, but I don't have a ground resistance, so you might as well have Quake anyway. But, as you see, Resonance right there, and guys, I'm just going to point out, one, now I have my screens up, and two, the problem is everything is living on like 10% HP. So, either way, really, really good, really good work from my opponent there. Their mods are just not dying, so they've got 4 mods. They know that I have a Perish endgame. That's probably why they're playing so carefully not to lose pieces, right? So, here I don't even remember what I did. My game plan was, you know, late game Zashing. When I can get Zashing up late game, we're in a really, really good spot. So basically, bringing an Instant here to maybe eat a Wildfire. I'd expect maybe this Groudon to either protect. I didn't expect like a big Keyblade to launch off here. I really didn't. I mean, I guess they could Wildfire Keyblades. I don't remember what they ended up going for. So they didn't protect. So the Wildfire does come out, does go into Instant. Instant, of course, going to be able to take that barely. And yeah. Allies Pokemon are now surrounded by fire, and Groudon goes for another Precipice Blade and connects them again. And don't get me wrong, guys, I'm not mad that they're connecting Precipice Blades. I just get lucky. It would be me getting lucky if they were missing them, to be completely honest. It's not like one of the things where I'm mad, but it's like, I tried to, you try to use Groudon, and you miss 17 blades. And then your opponent uses Groudon without a Wide Lens, and is hitting them all right now. But I mean, that's Groudon for you. Like I said, if you're hitting your blades, it's going to be a good mod. If you're missing your blades, it's going to be a bad mod. And anyways, Wildfire Flames on my side of the field. Good news is, we've lost our Instant, but we've traded to Groudon. And now they have no way to reset Sun. We're in the rain. Grimmsnarl's on like 5 HP. Low HP. I don't want to say 5, because it's probably a little bit more than that. But like maybe about 15, 20. But either way, it's like 10% HP. Not a lot. And what did they bring back in here? This is the question. I don't really remember too much. But either way, like I said, I think we're in a good spot, right? Charizard hasn't done a lot of damage in its max. It's out of Sun, it's Assault Vested. Yes, it's almost unkillable, but at this point we get the P2, and we have Lapras on the field. I mean, Lapras is putting in a lot of work. They haven't touched it yet, and we have a Instant that I can pick off with a Hydro Pump, a Grimmsnarl that's going to die to basically the next attack, and after that all I need to do is click Perish and keep my Mons alive. So this is a very, very winnable game right now at this point, and it's just a matter of preserving things correctly. We got rid of the Groudon, which is the big thing, right? And I think at this point it should be a double attack. Like, I should be going Trick Room and I think Hydro Pump. Although I actually expected this instant to be slightly faster than my Lapras here, because of the fact that their instant outpaced my instant in game 1. So I figured there'd be a fast instant, but there's the fake out. They fake out the Porygon too, which is why I didn't protect Lapras there. As Charizard goes for the Hurricane into Lapras, big time damage, Lapras gonna take. Thankfully no confusion, goes for the Hydro Pump, does connect it, and instant in the rain, of course, might not die because of the... No, I lied, instant die. Okay, so, of course, instant going down right there, and here's the problem. Okay? Here's the problem. Wildfire. Wildfire brings me down to 79. It's a matter of me trying to get attacks up now without actually dying. So, I need to find a way to get my attacks up. I don't know. I think Hurricane's probably in range of being able to pick me up. Like, a fake out Hurricane definitely would pick me up, I believe. Like, I think I almost have to protect Lapras here, as much as I don't want to. But I do actually click Freeze Dry, which, I mean, surprises myself. And I actually swap. Did I actually do this? Why did I do this? Ryan, what are you doing? Okay, battle was canceled. Yeah, but that game was not over. I was actually shocked that they canceled that, because that game was not over. If they go into Lapras there, I mean, I guess they have to pick one, and I let them take that. But I think they have to pick Lapras, right? So I would protect Lapras and let P2 die would be the correct play. I did not make the correct play. But I think that was a bit of an early forfeit on my opponent's end there. I don't think that game was over by any means. Either way, maybe they said to themselves, hey, I'm definitely ready for the third turn. I mean, I guess the game was over. Charizard was in the range, so Zacian could have taken an attack and dropped the... I think what Zacian has to do, though, is protect, sub, and protect. I don't think there's a better play that I can make there. After I get the Perish Up. If I get the Perish Up. I might not even get the Perish Up. Like, that was... I don't know. See, okay, I protect Lapras, Porygon 2 dies if they target P2. If they don't target P2, I get the Ice Beam off and Grimmsnarl dies. If Grimmsnarl dies and they target Lapras, the game was over. So, I mean, there was almost guaranteed win cons there. I think just protecting Lapras and letting P2 go down was the best play. So, here I said, you know what, they're probably going to adapt with Venusaur. Right? So if I bring Incineroar as a lead, I can force to stop the fake out. You know? I can force a fake out pressure to stop the potential Sleep Powder onto my Porygon 2, and I should be able to get Trick Room up. And now that we're in Game 3, guys, this is kind of the heat of the battle. And honestly, I'd say this was a really good Game 3. We both used information that we had, and we played our best to our outs. Anyways, Instant P2. There's the Venusaur that I was expecting. And normally, you know, I see Venusaur, I'd expect them, you know, they probably didn't bring Charizard, you know? They picked their other big damage D-Max user, and Venusaur's on the field now. So I know it's weakness policy. Part of me doesn't want a Trick Room, and I just kind of want to Ice Beam here. Obviously, not gonna do that. I'm gonna go for the Trick Room because I'm gonna click Trick Room because I don't want to just give it to policy. If it wasn't policy, you know, I would probably just fake out Ice Beam. The following turn, I would go for the Trick Room. Gives me more turns to take advantage of Trick Room. But Venusaur is gonna swap on out here. Incineroar coming in. Very good play on my opponent's end. And I believe they just set up a screen with Grim. I don't think they did anything fancy, so like this game slowed down quite a bit compared to the last few. Instant, of course, going for the fake out, going fake out straight into Instant, and Light Screen does come out from this Grimmsnarl, and this is where things get annoying. I'm going to try and watch this a little bit more carefully and see if I can point out, you know, where I should have done. Maybe I could have taken advantage of a turn somewhere else. So because right now I'm just kind of trying to do damage, right? What I want to do here is I want to get through this Grimmsnarl and just chip everything to a point where Lapras can come in and sweep. I didn't really want to start pivoting around just yet. Maybe I should have. Maybe just pivoting was the better play, right? Like if I Parting Shot Instant and chip Ice Beam damage chip, it may have just been the better play. Like, but as you see there, I'm doing nothing with that. Spirit Break actually does go into Instant, takes a little bit of damage, takes some big damage. But Flare Blitz from my Instant, I'm going to go do some damage to Grimmsnarl. Probably not a lot, but I figured if they wanted to stop some big damage, they'd have to get Light Screen up. Sorry, Reflect up. So that's damage, and their Instant is going to Parting Shot. So here becomes the problem. I'd imagine Venusaur comes in. And Venusaur would come in and put my entire team to sleep. So I'm like, no, maybe I should have pivoted. I should have pivoted because I would have had safety goggles in the back, and they couldn't safely Sleep Powder. They would have had to call a slot. We would have been amazing. And they bring in Venusaur. So, good news is, I still have Taunt. So, I was panicking for nothing. I have Taunt on my Instant, and this is why I have it. So, I go Ice Beam into Grim just for a little bit of extra chip damage here, and I'm going to go Taunt into the Venu. This is the turn I think I needed to swap into Lapras. I think if I come into Lapras on this turn right here, taunt this Venusaur and reset my Porygon too, I think we're in a phenomenal spot. Ice Beam, a little bit of chip, does bring Grimmsnarl to half. Instant does get to taunt off, and I believe they do actually go for a Sleep Powder. Yeah, and they do indeed go for the Sleep Powder there. So I literally had a free turn to bring in Lapras, and I don't know why I didn't. So that's a misplay on my end for sure. My opponent taking advantage of it a little bit, but now I go for the Parting Shot, try to get on out of here. And I think I just Ice Beamed again. I need to get this Porygon off the field, and this is my fault for leaving it on the field and letting it do nothing. Right, because right now he's playing a 2v1. And he's just pivoting in and out, and I can't do anything about that. My Porygon is completely useless. My instant now is, I believe, -2, maybe -3 even. And I'm not doing damage with this thing. There's a Reflect Up. I go for the Eerie Impulse. I was a little bit maybe expecting them to max there. My instant was low enough to a spot where I thought, hey, maybe, they'll max. So the Eerie Impulse was decent. Ice Beam was doing no damage anyways. There's the Spirit Break into Porygon 2, and down goes my special attack even more. So, thankfully, we do get a nice little Party Shot up. And we're going to get, I believe I brought Lapras in. Don't quote me on it, though. I believe I brought Lapras in. I don't think I bring in Zacian quite yet. Although, did I? I might have and said, there's only one more turn of Trick Room I can protect and get out of it. But I did go Lapras, and maybe Zacian was a better play. But I do stand by this Lapras switch in here. So, at this point, it's one of those things where they're going to Parting Shot. They're going to get Venusaur back on the field. It's the last turn of Trick Room, right? So they're going to Parting Shot. They're going to get Venu back on the field. And honestly, I think this turn lost me the game. Because right here, I'm still kind of in it. No one's really taking damage yet. It's a defensive game. And I need to find a way to do something. I don't even know what I clicked with P2 there. But either way. Basically, my game plan here, guys, was I was expecting Venusaur switching. But what I forgot was the fact that they're going to Parting Shot for the Venusaur switching. So just a blunder on my end here. And now because they see me switching instant, they have no reason to bring in Venusaur. So I kind of tunnel visioned a little bit. And now they're going to make the correct play. They're going to Parting Shot and they're going to bring in Groudon. And that's where the game basically ends. So Grimmsnarl going to Spirit Break. Going to chip down, obviously, my instant for a little bit, but not too big of a deal. And instant on their end is going to Parting Shot. And I messed this game up immensely. I needed to leave Lapras on the field, not max it, and switch instant in for the P2. It wouldn't have mattered anyways, like they still would have brought in Groudon. So maybe I don't know if I even have a better play. Right? Like, I need to try and catch them bringing in Venusaur here. Twisted Dimension returned to normal, and now it's a problem of I have no Quake switching. I have no P-Blade switching. So I tried desperately just to get a Parting Shot off onto this Groudon. But that turn right there is, I think, what cost me the game. I mean, I guess I could have gone Lapras out into Zacian, which realistically could have been something that maybe I should have done. I think it might have actually put on a little bit more pressure. Right? Because then I would still have my Intimidate pressure on thing. But the problem is if I went into Zacian, I was expecting them to just Parting Shot into Venusaur. Right? They'd have the sun up, they could sleep out of either of the two slots, and I'd be in a little bit of trouble. Here, however, though, they do now max Groudon, and I think at this point, big time Groudon, you don't need to risk hitting P-Blade for this. And big max Quake, just going to drop this instant slot. Instant can't protect. Like I said, Lapras is not a switch into that. Zacian, definitely not a switch into that. So I'm forced to just let myself go down. And that's the big problem right there. That's the spot that really hurts me here. And I think I set Trick Room up, which is also not good. But the thing is, I can't do anything. Because even if I don't set Trick Room up, P2 does no damage here. And I bring in Zacian, let's just say, I'm not killing a Groudon from full behind a Reflect. It's just not happening. So I called what they were going to do in this game 3. I figured, you know what, they're going to be bringing Venusaur. And the problem is I didn't adapt back to that and go back to Dragapult. Had I gone back to Dragapult here, I think we actually probably would have been perfectly fine. And it's just a little annoying that I didn't take advantage of it. Because I could have gone like instant Dragapult, clicked Airstream into the Venusaur turn 1. Yes, I'm giving it its policy, but I probably would have actually ended up doing was clicking Phantasm first. Because I think I would have forced him to max had I read that. But anyways, regardless of the point, This is the tough part now. It's now I'm just, it didn't happen. I didn't do it. I called the fact that I bring Venusaur didn't adapt accordingly. I figured, you know what, if I had Lapras in the room, I could deal with the Venusaur anyways. But unfortunately, with all these Quake Boosts, all these Spirit Breaks, all these parting shots, Lapras just isn't going to be doing anything. So it's just not enough. And there's the Scary Face. This was an amazing play. I always love cool plays like this. So they actually Scary Face their own Groudon to slow it down to get an extra Quake Boost off before I'm able to attack here, which I think is a phenomenal turn. I really do respect that play. I think that's amazing. And I've always been a fan of, you know, self-targeting something to maybe, I don't know, chip yourself into Berry Wave. Back in 2017, that was a big thing, you know, you self-attack, or like you E-speed yourself, because back then you had the Figgy Berries and stuff like that. They did 50%. They healed 50%. Like it was an absolutely absurd amount of HP you get back. So you could take like 20%, go into Berry range, and still heal like a full 30%. So like it was worth it to do that sometimes. So like seeing my opponent make that play there, mad respect for that. Definitely love seeing that play. That was a cool play. But anyways, at this point, guys, it's basically just try and crit through this, because I don't have another way to do so. They've got screens up, they've got Quakes up. Lapras is below 50% HP. They have 4 Pokemon. 2 of them, actually, I think 3 of them are at full health right now, and all I've done is chip damage this Grimmsnarl. So it was a game of positioning, and unfortunately, I lost my positioning the turn I hard switched Lapras out into Instant. I had an option to stay in. I had an option to switch out into Zacian, and I didn't take either of them. I should have got P2 off the field earlier, back when I said I should have. I had options to get out of this, and I just mispositioned it. It was a game 3. I wanted to play it safe. I played it too safe by not switching things in at the right time. And I think that sums up the game. Of course, credit to my opponent, played this really, really well, guys. Like I said, when I say I misplayed, I'm not saying that my opponent didn't play well. Because I say that a lot, right? I say the fact that, you know, I misplayed a lot. And a lot of times I find that can come off as, you know, you're not giving credit to your opponent. But guys, trust me, credit is where credit is due. My opponent played this set very, very well. I recognize his win cons took it. But, like, at the same time, I don't think I put up a strong enough fight. Anyways, I'm forced to bring in Zacian here because I just absolutely need to reset my P2. It's just not going to do anything for me. Groudon actually does protect, so I don't have to worry about a P-Blades on that switch in right there. Grimmsnarl going to go reset the light screen. So that's how long this game has gone on, guys. They get to reset the light screen. But anyways, max guys are coming out. Gonna go out. I believe I targeted the Dawn because I needed to chip damage it. And guys, that did nothing. That is in the range to a Groudon. That does nothing there. Look at that. I know it's through a protect, but like you'd still, I don't know. Normally you'd think rain boosted max geyser into Groudon is gonna be doing 90%. Obviously they're +3 special defense, so really it didn't. Of course it's not gonna do that much, but like just the fact that it did that little is shocking to me. And here, I don't know why I switched out Zacian. I had no reason to. Oh, I didn't switch out Zacian. Never mind. I changed my mind. I thought for a second I was gonna switch out Zacian. I'm like, what did I do? But thankfully I didn't. And here basically I said to myself, I need to just crit this Groudon. I need to get through this Groudon. Instant probably comes in for Grimmsnarl, just because they're probably going to be intimidating me. So, you know, you expect that. And here comes the Instant with the Intimidate. And I still need a crit. If I can crit this Hydro Pump, I can actually win this game. I have my screens up, so Blades isn't going to kill my Zacian here. That Blades actually does miss my Zacian, so my opponent finally misses. Lapras on 23 HP actually misses the Hydro Pump, so I don't even get the chance to crit. Like I said, I still would have needed the critical hit, because this isn't going to do a whole lot at neutral. Like, it's going to do damage, but nothing too crazy. Yeah, like, I mean, I would have needed to crit the pump. Had I connected that Hydro Pump, had it crit, I think we might have had something here. But obviously at that point, then I'm relying on hacks. And obviously, I still have the crit endgame, you know? So basically what I go for here is I'm going to try and sub and protect. So basically, I think they're going to fake out Lapras. And they're just going to click P-Blades. Or maybe protect their Groudon or switch out their Groudon. But more likely than not, they're going to click P-Blades. So I need them to miss another P-Blades, basically. They're going to actually switch out Instant, which is a very, very good play. So they would have given me a free turn to basically go after this Groudon here. And Lapras is going to protect, of course. I would have had a free extra Hydro Pump into it here. But could have read into that, but my opponent made a very smart play, reading that I'd be scared of the fake out. And I get sub up here, and Groudon's just going to go P-Blades. I was also kind of expecting maybe the fact that they try to SD. But they do just go for the P-Blades. They do this P-Blades, and down goes Zacian. So And by down goes Zacian, I mean the little fake cute doll there. Whatever you want to call that thing. Does the substitute doll have a name? That's what I want to know. At Game Freak, someone let me know if the substitute doll has a name. But anyways, I'd be curious to know if it was named. Anyways, I think it's just substitute. But anyways, regardless, completely useless. You guys aren't here for random talk like that. But this game is basically over. I need to desperately have 3 Pokemon. We know their Groudon is slower than my Lapras, of course, but I don't know the speed tier between this Grimmsnarl. I'm assuming my Lapras was faster, but the thing is, the Scary Face was still a threat. So I've expected a Scary Face into that Lapras slot so they could kill the Lapras, and we're going to get just that. So they're going to slow down my P2, so P2 is now slower than Groudon like it was before, and Zacian goes Behemoth Blade. I need a crit. It's as simple as that. I need to start critting things. I do actually decide to opt to hit the Grim there. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. Like, I don't disagree with that play, but at the same time, anyways, I think I maybe just needed to go for the crit and the Groudon there. Anyways, P-Blade does come out, does not kill my Zacian, and the rain is going to stop. So, the problem is, they're going to bring in... I wonder if I should have... I wonder if I should have just let Zacian go. Because Instant's here, and basically I said to myself, I need to switch my Zacian here because I need to have some sort of attack stat. If I don't have an attack stat on this Zacian, it's not going to be pretty. So, did I actually end up protecting? I think I protected, which isn't even terrible. But what did I do? Did I really go with this? There's no way I went through with that. Actually, I went through with that. Okay. Okay, so Zacian's going to protect here, guys. And I don't know if I necessarily like this play, because I think the fake out into P2 is obvious here. Yeah. Like, I could have had another free... I couldn't have subbed, actually. So they do just P-Blades, just launching out mad assaults into me. And they don't miss, but, I mean, like I said, once again, I'm not asking for the miss, but it would have been nice at some point. But they did dodge it. Zacian did dodge one earlier, so I can't complain. I just think I'm too far back now, guys. See, here I switch into Lapras. I think it may almost be better to, you know, just get the recover up and let Zacian go down. Like, at least get one last hurrah with, like, a Sacred Sword into Instant. Because then Instant's in range of a Hydro Pump. Everything's in range of Pump, minus this Groudon. And Instant is going to correctly Flare Blitz here. Flare Blitz going to go off into Lapras. Lapras goes down. And I mean, maybe Zacian has a chance, right? Maybe Zacian has a chance. Here comes the P-Blades. And the next turn, I think I still have a chance. Because Porygon 2-click recover here. So, okay guys, I'm going to be honest. This was what I was thinking my endgame was right now. I thought to myself, first of all, my Veil's gone, that kind of sucks. But I thought to myself that Incineroar swaps on out into Venusaur, and if I can Behemoth Blade that switch in, I have a chance to win this game. Right? Because then Instant will come back in, and I'll be fine. However, what I decided to do was not do that, because the thing is, I was so far behind, I needed to catch that. I thought about it. And I really sat here thinking about it. Am I going to Behemoth Blade this Instant slot, calling the Venusaur switch and getting a knockout? Because if I catch that, and look, I actually locked it in. Looks like I actually locked it in, and I think I went back and changed it. Unless that was me Sacred Swording that slot. But I don't think it was. I think that was an actual Behemoth Blade into that slot. And I actually go back, change my mind, and Behemoth Blade the Groudon. But anyways, Recover is going to come out from my Porygon here. And I don't know if this wins me the game, but Instant does switch out. And Instant switches out into Venusaur. If I catch that, and let's say I kill the Venusaur, right? And Groudon protects. So, the main reason I went back and switched my play, guys, is because I figured, yes, I'll kill the Venusaur, but then Instant comes back in beside Groudon with a dead Zacian. Right? And I figured, you know, as long as they're attacking Zacian, they're good, but I guess maybe Zacian kills Groudon there. Which, I mean, I could have capitalized on that. Like, I really should have. Yeah, that's just a bad play. I don't know if Behemoth Blade kills Groudon from that range. It would be really close. I don't think so, though. I really don't think so. Like, especially as bulky Citrus Berry Groudon like they have. I really doubt it. But, basically, what I should have done, I still should have Behemoth Blade the Venusaur. It was the right play there. And, I mean, I could have just dodged the P-Blades, right? So, like, if I hit Venusaur there and I kill the Venusaur, Instant comes back in, I can protect. And try to just heal up with my Porygon 2. And at that point we win. But now the problem is here, they're able to just do this, pivot back into Instant, and this ends the game effectively because I cannot kill anything. And I think this time I even made a terrible play and I just protected. Yeah, At this point, I need dodges, and with 3 minutes left, they should be playing the timer. They really should be. I would have nothing against them if they decided to play the timer. They don't need to, because they win this game anyways. Here I need a crit or a freeze onto the Groudon, but I targeted instant. Why? Because I'm bad. Opposing team's light screen is gone, and okay. So at this point, I think that one turn would have given me a chance. Like, they gave me the opportunity to. They even protected Groudon for me. Had I made that call, I think we may have had a shot because Porygon 2 is at full health. The problem is I would have needed to kill instant. And I don't know if I would have ever been able to do that. But there's the fake out, there's the P-Blades. They're going to, of course, double connect again. But at that point, it didn't matter. They have 3 Mons. I'm not breaking through any of them. And, I mean, I guess maybe if I dodge the P-Blades, even if I dodge the P-Blades and I miraculously kill an instant, which I don't think I ever do. That Ice Beam actually did a good chunk of damage considering it's like plus 1,000,000. But unfortunately here, guys, this is where I pack the suitcase and call it quits here. But yeah, I should have had that instant swap into Venusaur. It's unfortunate that I didn't go for it. But sometimes I don't know. I figured to myself, okay, but if I do that, I lose. But the thing is, I need to realize the fact that if I don't do that, I still lose. You know? Like I realized the consequences of getting it wrong were losing, but I didn't realize the consequences of doing anything else were also probably losing. So I needed to commit to that, and I think I don't know if I win. Right? Like I really don't know. Like I'd like to flowchart the rest of this game, because okay, so Venusaur goes down, instant comes back in, they have fake out pressure, I protect my Zacian, obviously, and they just probably spam P-Blades. They could SD, but they don't think they need to at that point. Right? So, at that point, I would protect Zacian, go for the Ice Beam, little bit of chip into instant. The following turn, if Sacred Sword can kill Incineroar, like if Sacred Sword Ice Beam can pick off the instant, and I can have P2 versus Groudon in the last 3 minutes of the game, I might actually win that. Because I don't think they have enough turns to SD enough to a point where they can actually win. So I might have actually had that, assuming that Sacred Sword at neutral plus an Ice Beam does enough to that instant. Because I think P2 may be able to get out of that. But either way, guys, video's starting to loop right now. I'm not actually searching. But with that, guys, we're going to get on out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been enough of your time watching this best of 3. And unfortunately, I don't know if I choked, but obviously, like I said, I had a play that would have given me a win con. I went for the play that gave me no win con. So that's on me. Of course, great plays to my opponents there. He made a very, very good play the entire game. Like they were playing really well. But with that, guys, if you guys do enjoy this content, please feel free to subscribe or leave a like on the video, both of which would really help me out. Anyways, that's still so weird for me to say, guys. I'm so not used to saying that. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna stop wasting everybody's time here by rambling. I'm gonna get on out of here, and I will catch you guys tomorrow for more Players Cup analysis.